Our topic for today is actually analysis and design of lectural members. So today we are going to start with discussing the lectural members, and then after this we move on to miscellaneous topics. Okay? Our intended learning outcomes is at the end of the session, the student should be able to, number one, determine the factors which affect the allowable flexural stresses. Basically, what are the parameters that we have to consider in calculating the capacity for flexural members. And we are also going to describe the various failure modes in flexural members. Basically, just like what we did in tension and compression, in order for us to solve for the capacity of a certain member, we have to determine paano ba siya masisira. No? So we're also going to describe the failure modes in flexure members. And of course, we are still going to refer to NSCP 2015, NSCP 2015 provisions on analysis and design of lectural members. And we are still going to use allowable stress design and load and resistance factor design in determining the strength of a flexural member. Ah. So, flexural members are actually members that are carrying gravity loading or downward loading along its longitudinal axis. So, if this is our member, I section po yan, and that is the longitudinal axis. Basically, nagke-carry po siya ng downward loading along its longitudinal axis. And because of that loading, nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na bending. Nagbe-bend yung ating element, which is causing what we call internal moment. Na? So, because of the downward or the gravity loading along its longitudinal axis, nagkakaroon tayo ng internal moment. That is why kapag meron po tayong beam, meron tayong tinatawag na moment diagram. No? Meron tayong moment diagram, especially if the element is carrying gravity loads along its longitudinal axis. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng moment diagram, and in any case, at any point of this beam, pagka nag-cut ako dito, nag-cut po ako ng section at this beam, then may makikita po ako dito na internal moment. Meron tayong kine-carry na internal moment. And usually, kapag simply supported, the compression is at the top and tension at the bottom. So that is a common analysis of a flexural member. So what are those flexural member? Of course, the main example is the beam, because our beams are actually carrying gravity loading coming from our slab. So coming from the slab, going to the beam, then our beam is actually carrying gravity loading. And because of that gravity loading, nagbe-bend yung ating mga beams. Of course, another example of our flexural members is our purlins. No? Purlin uh, is commonly designed or dinedesign po natin yan as a flexural member. Siguro hindi lang halata, pero ano po yan? That is also a flexural member, because if we look at our purlin, yung pinapatungan ng mga yero, kapag nag-carry po yan ng wind load or nag-carry yan ng any loading, then the load is actually perpendicular to its longitudinal axis, or perpendicular to the longitudinal axis. That will cause, again, magkakos po ng bending. So magkakaroon din po ng bending when it comes to our purlins, no? Sa mga purlins natin. So, but beams are the most common example of a flexural member, because when we are designing a building, that is the main flexural member element na dinedesign natin. Because these are structural elements that carry gravity or vertical loads subjected to primary flexure or bending. And they are typically oriented horizontally. Naka-horizontal po yung ating element that will cause it to carry gravity load. No? So the common sections used in our beams are wide flange or W shapes, but sometimes channels or built-up members are also used, especially kapag mga uh, small structures lang, especially for a parking garage, mga ganun, mga one story lang na parking garage. We can also use purlins, no? We can also use purlins. So yung mga purlins natin, dapat ang orientation niyan is actually nakatayo, no? Kasi nga of course, kapag nakatayo yung mga purlins natin, mas malaki yung kanyang moment of inertia. Mas malaki yung resistance to bending. And as we discuss, the higher the moment of inertia, as the moment of inertia increases, the higher is the resistance to bending. Kapag mas mataas yung moment of inertia, mas mataas yung ating resistance, no? Higher resistance to bending. But sometimes we can also use built-up shapes. Again, if we are limited on the size of the elements, then we can actually use built-up section. Built-up section are used kapag gusto nating pataasin yung strength ng member without really changing the size of the elements, no? Or the size of the member. Doubly symmetric shapes are the most efficient kasi nga po pagka mga symmetrical shape, we already know that uh, the principal axis or the major axis will be along x or y axis, no? So yun po yung mga doubly symmetric shapes natin. So kaya common na ginagamit natin mga I shape because doubly symmetric shape siya, doubly symmetric shape, no? So if we want to calculate for the bending stress of our flexure members, then we are just going to use a very simple formula coming from our mechanics, which is MC over I. Na? In calculating the bending formula, that is MC over I, where M is actually the moment applied, C is the distance from the neutral axis going to the extreme fiber, or distance from the neutral axis to the point in question, and divided by I, or the moment of inertia. But we already established in our lecture number 1 that our section modulus, or Sx, is actually equal to I over C. So that is why we can also define the bending stress as equal to M over S, or the applied moment divided by the section modulus, no? S is also the section modulus. So, using the bending stress formula, if we are going to determine the stress experienced by our member, then of course, since the extreme fiber, yung pinaka malayo pong fiber from the neutral axis, that is the most critical. Yan yung makakaramdam ng highest stress, na? So, at the start of the loading, then the maximum stress is uh, at the extreme fiber, and then it's linearly varying with the neutral axis equal to 0. NA is at FB is equal to 0. The stress at the neutral axis is actually 0. So, as we continue to load the member, kapag po nag-i-increase yung internal moment niya, then since the maximum stress is located at the extreme fiber, ito rin yung pinakaunang mag-yield. So the extreme fiber will be the first one to yield. It will be having Fy. So extreme fiber yields in this condition. Extreme fiber yields. Once the extreme fiber yields, then since the stress is actually linearly varying, all the other elements are not yet yielded. Ang nag-yield lang, extreme fiber. Extreme fiber yields. So in this condition, when only the extreme fiber yields, all other elements or all other part of the section does not yield, then this is the start of your yielding. Dito na po nag-i-start yung yielding. Start of the yielding process, no? That is the start of the yielding. And then as the member starts to yield, then all the other elements or all the other parts will also yield as we continue to load, no? So mag-yield na rin po yung ibang parts. So kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng parang uh, pagbaba ng FY ng yielding also on the other parts, not just on the extreme fiber. So halos lahat nag-yield na, hindi lang dun sa extreme fiber. And then when all fibers yielded, on this case all fibers yielded, and this is what we call the fully plastic condition. Fully plastic condition. So, on the other hand, doon naman po sa start of the yielding, since only the extreme fiber yielded, that is still at the start of the elastic condition. So, that is basically, that is the extreme of the elastic condition. Na? That is the start of the plastic condition and the end of the elastic condition. Doon siya nag-i-start na mag-yield kapag nag-yield na po yung extreme fiber. Okay? So, if we are going to look at the yield moment, then to calculate for the yield moment capacity, again, pag sinabi nating yield moment, ito po yan. Dito po nangyayari yung yield moment. Yield moment happens when only the extreme fiber yielded. Again, yield moment happens when only the extreme fiber yielded. Only the extreme fiber yielded. Kapag yung extreme fiber pa lang yung nag-yield, then that is what we call yield moment. Na? Yield moment. So, if we look at the stress distribution, ang stress distribution natin will be triangular. No? We have a triangular stress distribution. Triangular stress distribution with compression at the top and tension at the bottom. Dahil only the extreme fiber yielded, because only the extreme fiber yielded, then triangular yung stress distribution natin. Then if we calculate for the compression force, calculate natin yung compression force will be the volume of the stress diagram. The volume of the stress diagram, that is a triangle. So that is just 1/2 times the stress, Fy, times the area. The area is kalahati po ng section, that's BD over 2. Na? BD over 2. Ganun din po sa kabila. So this will give us Fy times BD over 4. Ganun din po sa ilalim. Compression is equal to the tension. So yung ilalim natin, it will also be Fy times BD over 4. And since the position of the compression is actually 1/3 at the top, or basically that's D over 1/3 ng D over 2. So that is D over 6. D over 6. Ganun din sa ilalim, this is D over 6. Then the distance between compression and tension will be D minus D over 6 minus D over 6. That is 2/3 ng D. 2/3 of D. If we calculate for the moment, ang moment natin, the moment is equal to, yield moment is equal to compression or tension times the lever arm or the distance between the compression and tension, that is 2/3 of D. 2/3 of D, which is ang compression natin, that's Fy times BD over 4. The yield moment is equal to Fy times BD over 4 times 2/3 of D. This will give us Fy times times BD squared over 6, or yeah, BD squared over 6. In which case, this BD squared over 6 is actually our section modulus. Yan po yung elastic section modulus. That is actually our elastic section modulus. 'Di ba, ang elastic section modulus natin is just I over C, no? Uh, Elastic section modulus Sx is just equal to I over C. I over C. Where I, the moment of inertia of a rectangle, is just BD cube over 12. So that is BD cube over 12 divided by C, that's D over 2. This will be BD squared over 6. So parehas lang, no? Parehas lang. So basically, we don't have to do the force analysis when we want to determine the yield moment. If we want to determine the yield moment, then we just have to multiply the yield stress with the elastic section modulus. Na? Again, para daw po makuha natin yung yield moment, ang gagawin mo lang, imumultiply mo lang si Fy kay Sx. Fy times Sx. That is the yield moment. On the other hand, if we look at the plastic moment, pag sinabi nating plastic moment, all the elements already yielded. Again, plastic moment, all elements yielded. Or all fibers, no? All elements or fiber already yielded. So kapag lahat po ng elements or yung fibers natin nag-yield na, that is what we call the full plastic condition. So kapag nagkakaroon tayo ng full plastic condition, ito po yung itsura niya. Not just the extreme fiber yielded, but all fibers. All fibers along the depth. All fibers along the depth already yielded. That is what we call full plastic condition. So in full plastic condition, lahat na ng stress natin, it's not linearly varying anymore. Hindi na siya linearly varying, just like in yield moment. In plastic moment, it is now constant stress of Fy. Kasi lahat nag-yield na eh. No? We have a constant stress of Fy. So in such cases, if we are going to analyze or do a force analysis, the compression will be just the stress times the area. Ang area na ngayon hindi na triangle, rectangle na, no? So the compression is just equal to Fy times the area of the half of the rectangle, that will be BD over 2. It's also equal to the tension, and the location of the force will be at 1/2 of D over 2. So that will be D over 4. So this is D over 4. This is also D over 4. So the distance between compression and tension will be D over 2. D over 2. Okay? To calculate for the plastic moment, katulad lang din po ng ginawa natin kanina, then compression or tension multiplied by the distance between the forces. So that will be the plastic moment is equal to compression or tension times the distance between them, that's D over 2. So calculating for the plastic moment, that will be equal to Fy times BD over 2 times D over 2, which will give us Fy times BD squared over 4. So, kanina ang tawag natin elastic section modulus. This time, this is what we call the plastic section modulus. This is now the plastic section modulus. Kung yung kanina, ang tawag po natin sa elastic moment or the yield moment, ang designation natin is SX. This time, ang designation natin ZX. That is the plastic section modulus. So, what is plastic section modulus? Plastic section modulus is actually the moment of area of the top and bottom about the plastic neutral axis. No? So, pag-usapan muna natin ano ba yung plastic section modulus. Plastic section modulus or ZX, that is what we call the plastic section modulus. It's actually the moment of top and bottom area. So, hindi lang top lang, hindi lang isang part lang, no? Top and bottom. Moment of top and bottom area about the plastic neutral axis. Or yung tinatawag natin na PNA, plastic neutral axis. Ano naman yung plastic neutral axis? Basically, ang plastic neutral axis is actually the division of the compression and tension zone. No? Or the plastic neutral axis is actually the division of the compression and tension zone. This is actually the neutral axis that you are considering when you are calculating a reinforced concrete problem, 'di ba? Sa reinforced concrete, sabi natin, if you have a section tapos meron kang steel sa ilalim, ang ginagawa mo, meron kang compression sa top, tension at the bottom. And then, kinukuha mo yung depth C. So, yung depth C natin, yan daw po yung neutral axis. So, the neutral axis of that in RC, sa reinforced concrete, yan din yung neutral axis natin sa steel. Basically, that is the division of the compression and tension zone. So, kapag na-consider naman tayo ng steel element, let's say this is our steel element, then the division of the compression and tension zone, this is compression, this is tension, ito po yung neutral axis natin. That is still the neutral axis. So, para ma-locate natin yung neutral axis, what we can do is to equate compression is equal to tension. Ganyan din yung ginawa natin sa RCD. Na? If we equate compression is equal to tension, then that will be the stress times the area. Stress times area top, is equal to the stress times area bottom. Pero yung stress natin, di ba dahil nga po plastic siya, ang stress natin Fy. So the stress is Fy times area top is equal to Fy, kasi parehas po yung steel yung top and bottom, so Fy times area bottom. So in that case, magka-cancel po yung ating Fy kasi parehas lang naman sila na Fy. So that means area top is equal to area bottom. So for steel design, the location of the plastic neutral axis is actually the division of the top and bottom area that will make it an equal area. So we can add another definition for plastic neutral axis. For steel design, or basically for steel with uniform Fy, for steel with uniform Fy, then pwede pala nating sabihin that the plastic neutral axis is just basically it divides the area into two equal area. Na? For steel with uniform Fy, plastic neutral axis or PNA divides the area into two equal areas, no? Areas. So basically kapag ka steel daw po, ang pwede natin gawin para malocate yung plastic neutral axis, equate lang natin yung top and bottom. We equate the top and bottom. Then after determining the plastic neutral axis, we can now take the moment at the top uh, about the plastic neutral axis, and that will be your plastic section modulus. If we are going to designate an equation to the plastic section modulus, then it will just be the uh, area top, y top, plus area bottom, y bottom. No? Area top, y top, plus area bottom, y bottom. So, imo-moment lang natin siya. Imo-moment lang natin about the plastic neutral axis. And that is your plastic section modulus. So, shape factor is the ratio between the plastic moment and the yield moment. Again, shape factor is the ratio of plastic moment MP and the yield moment My. So we already established that when we calculate for the yield moment, it's actually equal to Fy times Sx. For the plastic moment, on the other hand, it will be Fy times Zx. So to calculate for the shape factor is just equal to the plastic moment over the yield moment. And since they're both Fy, magka-cancel po yung Fy natin. That will be Fyzx over Fy-Sx. Cancel Fy, shape factor is just equal to Zx over Sx. Zx over Sx. That is the shape factor. So, what does shape factor telling us? Pagka shape factor po, let's say the shape factor is around, it's always greater than 1, no? So let's say the shape factor is 1.5. That means after yielding, at the start of the yielding, it can yield 50% more before it reaches full plastic condition. Yun yung sinasabi ng shape factor. So, let's say, for example, the shape factor is 1.5. Then, after yielding, once it start yielding, mag-yield po siya ng 50% more before it will yield 50% more before it reaches full plastic condition. That is what we call yun po yung shape factor. Okay? Shape factor is always greater than 1 since plastic moment is greater than the yield moment. Yung plastic moment natin is greater than the yield moment. So, dahil mas malaki yung numerator with respect to the denominator, then it should be greater than 1. Should be greater than 1. Now, let's apply the concept to a simple example. No? We have to calculate the elastic section modulus and the plastic section modulus as well as the shape factor. Letter A, we have a rectangular section of a base of 50 and a depth of 200 millimeter. So, we have a base of 50 and the depth of 200 millimeter. So, if I want to calculate for the section modulus, Sx, section modulus is equal to Ix divided by C. Ang Ix natin, that is the base, 50, height is 200, cube over 12, divided by the distance from the extreme fiber, distance C, that will be 200 over 2. Can you give me Sx? What is Sx? In times 10 raised to 6. Or times 10 raised to 3. 333. 333.333 times 10 raised to 3 millimeter cube. So this is our Sx. To solve for the plastic neutral axis naman or the plastic section modulus Zx, for take note that for symmetrical section, take note po natin, for symmetrical section, ibig sabihin yung mga section natin na kaya nating i-fold, we can fold them. For symmetrical section, the centroid and the plastic neutral axis coincide with each other. No? The plastic neutral axis, PNA, is at center. Okay? Is at center. So, yung kapag symmetrical po yung section natin, then the plastic neutral axis is just at the center. So, i-fold mo lang, kapag pwede siyang i-fold, then the plastic neutral axis will be at the center. So, for this rectangular section, we don't have to worry because this is a symmetrical section. So, the plastic neutral axis is at the center. So, to solve for Zx, we just have to take the moment, area top, y top, plus area bottom, y bottom. Ang area top natin will be 50 times 200 over 2. And then, gaano kalayo yung centroid ng y top from the plastic neutral axis? That is 200 over 4. 200 over 4. No? So, times 200 over 4. And then, since equal lang po yung top sa bottom, equal lang yung top and bottom, then I'm just going to multiply this by 2. Kasi yung top and bottom is actually equal. So I can now calculate for Zx. What is our Zx? $500. Solving for the shape factor for the rectangular section, the shape factor is equal to Zx over Sx. That is equal to 500 times 10 raised to 3 divided by 333.33 times 10 raised to 3. What is our shape factor? 1.5. The shape factor is now 1.5. Okay? Shape factor is 1.5. Okay. So, next one for an equilateral triangle with an altitude of 150 millimeter. So, let's say for example, an equilateral triangle with an altitude of 150 millimeter. So, letter B, we have an equilateral triangle. Ibig sabihin, all sides equal. All sides equal with an altitude. Ang altitude niya or the height is 150 millimeter. So, since this is an equilateral triangle, this is also equiangular. So, this is 60 degrees. 60 degrees. So, para makuha natin yung base, para makuha natin to, that will be, let's say that is x. So, tangent of 60 degrees is equal to 150 over x. So, x will be equal to 150 over tangent 60. Kaya lang, dahil dalawa po yan, ang 2x yan, our base is equal to 2x. That will be equal to 300 over tangent 60. 300 over tangent 60. So, in solving the section modulus, para makuha natin yung section modulus, it will be bh cube over 36, no? Ix will be equal to bh cube over 36. Ang base natin is 300 over tangent 60. Ang height natin, 150 cube over 36. And then, that will be our Ix. What is our Ix? 16.238 times 10 raised to 6 millimeter to the fourth, no? Millimeter to the fourth. And then calculating for Sx is equal to Ix over C. Ang C natin, coming from the elastic neutral axis, that will be 2/3. 2/3 of depth. No? So that is 16.238 times 10 raised to 6 divided by 2/3 of the depth, 150. So what is our Sx? Parehas lang, no? That will be, kasi 100. So parehas lang, tama. So that is 162.38 times 10 raised to 3 millimeter to the fourth, millimeter cube. Yeah, millimeter cube. And to solve for the uh, to solve to solve for the plastic section modulus, we have to locate the plastic neutral axis. But this time, the plastic neutral axis is not at the center because this is unsymmetrical section. So we have to locate the plastic neutral axis, no? So locate the plastic neutral axis. So to locate the plastic neutral axis, ang gagawin po natin, equate lang natin yung top and bottom. Ha? So let's say the location of the plastic neutral axis is at the depth y, and this is z. That is z. So to locate the plastic neutral axis, we mentioned earlier that plastic neutral axis is the division of it divides the section into two equal area. I-divide niya yung section into two equal area. So to solve for y, then that will be area top will just be equal to area bottom. Area top will just be equal to area bottom. Ang area top natin, that will be equal to 1 half z times y is equal to the area bottom. Ang area bottom natin is the area of the trapezoid, no? This is a trapezoid section. But the base is actually 300 over tangent 60. And the depth is now equal to 150 minus y. So we can easily calculate for the area of a trapezoid, 1 half B1 plus B2, average of the bases times the height. So that will be 1 half. That will be 1 half. Average of the base 1 is z, plus base 2 is 300 over tangent 60 times the height, 150 minus y. And to solve for y, I have to write z in terms of y. Isusulat ko yung z in terms of y, na? So I could just use ratio and proportion. So by ratio, that will be z, the base is to the height, is equal to the base, that is 300 over tangent 60 divided by the height, which is 150. So nag-ratio lang ako, no? So that means ang z natin in terms of y, z in terms of y will be 300 over 150. So that is 2 over tangent 60 times y. 2y over tangent 60. Yan po yung z natin. That's the z value. So, plugging it in into our equation. So, plug in natin dito. So, that will be 1 half. Ang z is 2y over tangent 60 times y is equal to 1 half times z, 2y over tangent 60 plus 300 over tangent 60 times 150 minus y. I can now solve for y. What is the location of the plastic neutral axis? Solve for y. That will be 106.07. 106.066. With this, I can also calculate for z. The z value will be 2 times 106.066 divided by tangent 60. That is equal to ilan? 122.474. 122.474. So, with this, I can calculate for the plastic section modulus. I can now calculate for the plastic section modulus. So the base is actually equal to 122.474 and the height is actually equal to 106.066. So for this one, that is actually equal to 150, or we can just stick with the stick with the variable and just substitute later on. Stick with the variable kasi may mga value naman na tayo, no? So this is z, this is y, this is 150 minus y, this is tangent 300 over tangent 60. So we are going to take the moment from the plastic neutral axis. So let's say this is the plastic neutral axis. So i-moment lang natin, no? So Zx is equal to area top, y top, plus area bottom, y bottom. Ang area top natin, that is equal to the triangle, that is 1 half z times 1 half z times y, times the distance, that is y over 3. Y over 3. Na? Y over 3. So that is the moment of area for the top. Moment of area for the top. And then for the area bottom, hatiin natin siya sa dalawa. Gagawin nating isang rectangle saka triangle. Isang area 1 saka area 2. Okay? So plus yung area 1, yung rectangle, that will be ang base niya z. So z tapos yung height 150 minus y. That is the area, z times 150 minus y. And then the distance, that will be 150 minus y divided by 2. Plus area 2, area po ng triangle, 1 half. Ang base natin will be 300 over tangent 60 minus z. 300 over tangent 60 minus z, that is the base. Ang height natin, 150 minus y. Tapos yung distance from the neutral axis, that will be 2/3 of 150 minus y. Okay? Then, you can now calculate for zx. Substitute the value. Ang Z natin, the Z is equal to 122.474. Z is 122.474. And then yung Y natin, Y is equal to 106.066. Can you solve for ZX? Solve for ZX. 300. Yeah. 380.47 380.4795. Tama po ba? 478. Times 10, 380.478 times 10 raised to 3 millimeter cube. After solving for Zx, we can now calculate for the shape factor. Ang shape factor natin is equal to Zx over Sx. That is 380.478 times 10 raised to 3 over Sx. That is 162.38 times 10 raised to 3. What's the shape factor? 2.34. 2.34. Okay, so that is for the equilateral triangle. Lastly, let's try to solve for the W12 by 50. For the W12 by 50, we have the following properties. So to solve for the, let me copy this. For the next one, we have a W12 by 50. We already have the dimension and we already have the Sx. So ang isolve na lang natin Zx. We just have to solve for Zx. So to solve for Zx, manually, let me just draw the I section. Drawing natin yung I section. And the base or the flange width is 205.23. The thickness of the flange is actually 16.26. This is 16.26. And the total depth is 309.23. 309.63. So I can now determine the depth of the web. Let's say this one, H, that is equal to 309.63 minus 2 times 16.26. Ilan po ito? 277.11. So if I'm going to calculate for the plastic section modulus, since this is a symmetrical section, symmetrical, so kapag symmetrical, then the plastic neutral axis will be at center. Nasa gitna lang yan, no? Nasa center. Plastic neutral axis at center kasi symmetrical po siya. So I can just take the moment of the top and bottom. So I could also determine this. Can you get me this? 277.11 divided by 2. So that is 277.11, 138.555. 138.555. So to calculate for Zx will just be equal to area top, Y top, plus area bottom, Y bottom. Ang area top natin, flange muna for this one, that is 205.23 times 16.26 times y top, gano'n siya kalayo sa plastic neutral axis? That is 138.555 plus kalahati ng 16 plus uh, the web part plus the web part. So that is 138.555 times the thickness of the web. Thickness of the web is 9.4 times 9.4. Gano'n siya kalayo sa plastic neutral axis? That is 138.555 over 2. And then, since area top is just equal to area top is equal to area bottom, ita times 2 ko na lang. All of this multiply by 2. So that is your ZX. Times 2 na lang natin because the area top is just equal to area bottom. So the plastic neutral axis is now equal to 1159.444 times 10 raised to 3 millimeter cube. With the plastic neutral axis or with the plastic section modulus, we can now calculate for Zx. Zx natin, Zx is equal to, we can now calculate for SF pala, shape factor. Calculating for the shape factor, that is Zx over Sx, 1159.444 times 10 raised to 3 divided by 1065 times 10 raised to 3. Ilan po yung shape factor? 1.09. So that's how we calculate the plastic section modulus manually on a standard section. The principle is still the same. You just have to take the moment, the top and bottom area moment from the plastic neutral axis. From the plastic neutral axis. Okay? Okay, let's now try to solve this problem. An unsymmetrical flexural member consists of 3 inches top flange and 3 inches bottom flange and 1/2 inches and 66 inches web. Determine the distance from the top of the shape to the horizontal plastic neutral axis. Na? So meron daw tayong top flange 3 inches by 22 inches. So we have a top flange of 3 inches by 22 inches. So this is 22. This is 3 inches. And we have a web of 66 by 1/2. This is 66 and the thickness is 0.5. And the bottom flange is actually equal to 3 inches by 66, 16 inches. So that is 16 by 3. 16 by 3. So the question is, what is the distance from the top of the shape to the horizontal plastic neutral axis? Again, this is unsymmetric section. So kapag unsymmetric, we have to locate the neutral axis. Ito, locate natin yung plastic neutral axis. To locate for plastic neutral axis, we just have to equate top and bottom. Top and bottom. So let me designate this as, let's say, Z value. Designate natin Z value. So if that is Z, this will be 66 minus Z. 66 minus Z. So to locate the plastic neutral axis, gagawin lang natin, area top is equal to area bottom. Ang area top natin, that is 22 times 3 plus Z times 0.5 is equal to area bottom, that is 16 times 3 plus 66 minus Z times 0.5. What is the Z value? What is the Z value? 15, no? So 15 inches. So that means if I want to determine the distance from the top, alamin ko yung distance, yung y, distance y. So y is just equal to z plus 3. So that is 15 plus 3. That is 18 inches. Distance from the top of the shape to the horizontal plastic neutral axis. And to calculate for the plastic neutral axis, or to calculate for the plastic section modulus, Zx, that is area top, y top, plus area bottom, y bottom. Ang area top natin, that is 22 times 3. Kano siya kalayo sa plastic neutral axis? That will be 15 plus 3 over 2 plus uh, plus z, which is 15. This is already 15, no? 15 times 0.5 times 15 over 2 plus 66 minus 15, that will be 51. 51. So area 3, that will be 51 times 0.5 times 51 over 2 plus area 4, 16 times 3. Ang ginawa kong division ng area, this will be area 1, area 2, area 3, and area 4. Okay? Area 4, 16 times 3 times distance is 51 plus 3 over 2. That is my Zx. What is our Zx? Four three one 5.5, no? 4315.5. Okay? How about the others? Is this correct? Tama po ba? Okay, uh, now that we have Zx, to calculate for the plastic moment, for the horizontal plastic neutral axis, for the plastic moment, ang ating MPX, that is equal to Fy times Zx. So, MPX, ang Fy natin for grade 50 steel is 50 KSI. 50 times 4315.5. So, the plastic moment about the horizontal neutral axis, 50 times 4315.5, that is 215775. This is kip inches, no? Kip inches. Kip inches. If we want to make it foot or gawin nating feet, then you divide by 12. I-divide mo ng 12 para maging kip feet, no? Para maging kip feet. Pero pwede na rin po ito, naka-kip inches. Or in feet, in kip feet, divide mo lang ng 12, MP is equal to, divided by 12, that is also 17981.25. 17981.25 kip feet kapag ka in kip feet. Okay? Next one, compute the plastic section modulus with respect to the minor principal axis. For the minor principal axis, then ibig sabihin nakahiga yung section natin. So, if I'm going to rotate it, naka-rotate, o rotate natin. This is still 22, this is 3, this is 66, this is 0.5, and this is 16, this is 3. So, kapag nakahiga yung section, basically, if you try to fold it, kapag finold natin, this is symmetrical. Kapag ka po nakahiga siya, no? Note, for symmetrical, take note, for symmetrical section, dahil nakahiga na siya, symmetrical na siya ngayon with respect to the horizontal axis. So, for symmetrical, PNA is at center. So, nasa gitna yung ating plastic neutral axis. So, nasa gitna lang to, hindi na natin kailangan i-locate pa. We don't have to locate. So, in that case, we just have to take the moment, imo-moment lang natin sa plastic neutral axis na nasa gitna. Okay? So, i-divide na natin into two areas. So, this is 22 over 2. This is 11. This one, 16 over 2. That is 8. So, 11 saka 8. So, let's say this is area 1. This is area 2. And this is area 3. Area 1, area 2, area 3. For area 1, that will be ZY. ZY is equal to area top, Y top, plus area bottom, Y bottom. Ang area top natin, that is 11. 11 times 3. Y top is 11 times 3 times 11 over 2. That's area 1 plus area 2, that is 8 times 3 times 8 over 2 plus area 3, that is 66. 66 times 0. Kalahati ng 0.5, so 0.25 times 0.25 over 2. And then, since top is just equal to bottom, top and bottom is equal, i-multiply ko lang to ng 2 times 2. Huh? So, what is my ZY? .125 square inches. Cubic inches. Ayan. Okay? So, pwede po na about the major axis, unsymmetrical siya. Tapos about the minor axis, symmetrical naman siya. So, basta pwede mong i-fold, symmetrical po yan. Okay? Okay. We can also calculate the plastic moment in a standard section, especially kapag given po yung ating ZX. Kapag given naman yung ating ZX. Let's say, for example, this one, compute the plastic moment for W10 by 60 using A99 to steel. So, given naman yung ZX natin, the ZX is given 1222 for W10 by 60. So, for A992, our Fy is equal to 345 megapascal. So, to solve for the plastic moment, MP, that is just Fy times Zx. Fyzx. So, plastic moment is if Fy 345 times Zx, that is 1222 times 10 raised to 3. We can now calculate for the plastic moment. Ilan? Divided by times 10 raised to 6 to make it kilonewton meter. Divide mo ng 10 raised to 6 to make it kilonewton meter. 421.59. 421.59 kilonewton meter. So if the plastic section modulus is given, then we can easily calculate for the plastic moment. Kapag given naman yung yung elastic section modulus, ganun din. FYSX lang. FYSX. Okay?